Okay guys, we're doing lesson 95. Hang on, it's not going to let me record this. Alright, that's better. Okay, we're doing lesson 95 today. And lesson 95 is reducing rates before multiplying. Of all the lessons we've done, this is not one of the more challenging ones. Some of it you've already had as a review. I've taught you some of this already before we got to this point, so it should help you today actually. And so we're talking about reducing rates before we multiply. If we're given a situation where we have more than two fractions, I should say, more than two fractions to multiply. Remember, put a little dot there. 3/4 by, 2/5 by 5/6. Now, look at, we can multiply this out, right? Because we have our multiplication signs here. And 3 times 2 is 6, times 5 is 30. And 4 times 5 is 20, times 6 is 120. So we get this big fraction, 30 over 120. Instantly we should be thinking, can this be reduced? Okay, we know it can be. We know that what we could do with these type of problems is that we can knock off this 0 and this 0. They kind of cancel each other out. And now we have 3 over 12, which can be reduced to 1/4, right? Okay, well, let's take this same problem and let's do it a little bit differently. Let's take the 3 and cancel it out with the 6. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 6 twice, right? Y'all see that? Okay. Then let's take this 2 here and say 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 4 twice. And then we can take, let me find another color. This color here we'll use this. No, we just use that one, blue. Then we're going to say 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 5 one time. We multiply 1 times 1 times 1. And what do we get? 1. And then 2 times 1 is what? Times 2 is 4. See how we do that? Okay, that's reducing rates before we multiply. Reducing these rates before we multiply. And a fraction is considered a rate or a ratio, right? They're saying 5/6, 5 out of 6, or 5/6. 2 out of 5, 2/5, or 2 per 5. 3/4, 3 out of 4. These are all ratios or rates. Now, where it could get a little confusing, but I don't think you're going to let it because you guys are really smart, is if we have a situation where we want to take something like, let's say that we have, let me go back one. Let me find my, okay, your example 1 of the book says it wants us to multiply 55 miles per hour by 6 hours. Okay, that's the problem in our book for example 1. All right, so to rewrite this into it, because we can't, this is not a math equation the way it is right now. We got to kind of change it around, dress it up a little bit so we can do some math with it, right? So we take our, we know we have to multiply 55 by 6. So we have 55 miles per hour. Y'all get that, MPH, right? Multiply that by 6 hours. Well, we still have a bit of a problem because we have miles per hour. We have two different units of measure in the same line, and we can't do that. Whenever you, look at guys, whenever you see the words per, like we have here, which is then shorthand for right here, whenever we have per, that means something over something, okay? There's a ratio. We have a ratio, and in this case, we have 55 miles per, which is written like this, per hour, which we put down here, 55 miles per hour. Y'all see how I did that transition? See how we changed that? That's what we can do. By 6 hours. Okay, whenever we have a whole number, we can put it over 1, can't we? Right? So we're going to put it over 1 just to make it look like the numbers over here, because here we have a 1, and here I guess we can put a 1 for 1 hour there. Now, what we're going to see is, Hang on, let me just to make this uniform so I don't confuse you. Let me do this the right way. All right. Do you see how the hours are going to cancel out? Does that make sense to you? Why the hours would cancel out? Do they? Does anybody not understand that? If you don't understand why the hours cancel out, raise your hand and tell me, I don't understand. Why you don't understand. Okay. Are you looking at the problem? Okay. Let me ask you a question, Wyatt. If I had this problem up on the board, 2/5 times 10 over 2, do you see where I can cancel this 2 and this 2 because 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 2 once, so because they're like, they cancel out? Well, hours are like hours, so they cancel out. Okay? So these cancel out. That leaves me with 55 miles times 6 over 1 times 1. What's 55 miles times 6? I'll help you with the math. It's 330. But what's our measurement in? Miles. So 330 miles is our answer. You see that, guys? Does anybody not see that? Anybody not see that? You understand how we did that problem right there. Tucker, you good? Okay. Peter. Huh? That means in 6 hours you go 330 miles. Exactly what that means. Yep. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do another one. And this one is going to be multiply. It wants us to multiply 5 feet. Oh, it doesn't abbreviate it. Hang on. I don't want to do it any other way. Multiply 5 feet by 12 inches per foot. Okay? So if I set that up, what do you think I should do, Skylar? 5 feet over 1. What does by mean? By means multiply, right? Or multiply, tells us multiply right here. Multiply by what? 12 inches? Over 1 what? Over 1 foot. 1 feet we'll call it, right? To keep these the same, even though it's not the proper English. Okay? The feet can't, hang on, let me get my little marker. The feet cancel out, right? And I have inches left over, right? And that's exactly right, Skylar. Good job. Does everybody understand how we did that? Yes. Isn't that easy? Don't we love math? Yes. Don't say no. Of course you love math. This is important, guys, because when you're 16 years old, if you're lucky enough to have your parents allow you to drive, which it's a right? It's a privilege. It's not something you're guaranteed to do, but your parents let you. They may say, well, you know what, you can buy you a car, but you got to pay for your own insurance. You got to put your own gas in it, which means you got to work down there at McDonald's and make your $7.50 an hour, right? So you get your paycheck, and you got $25 in your pocket, and you want to go to your friend's house, but you need $10 to go to the movie if you're allowed to go to movies or whatever, go out to dinner, and you have $6 in your pocket for gas, and you put the $6 in the gas tank, and you get a gallon and a half of gas in there. You say, okay, I got a gallon and a half of gas. How many miles can I go? Well, if my car gets 20 miles per gallon, and I put 1.5 gallons of gas in, how many miles can I go? Tucker? I can go 30. So then you look at your odometer, and you think, okay, my odometer is on blah, 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 20, so when I get to blah, 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 50, I'll be out of gas, right? And that's something all teenagers go through, right? We all do that. I did that when I was young. Well, you put gas in your car, and, you just have to kind of remember how much, yeah, because my fuel thing never worked in my cars. I was always poor. So, well, you know what? If you have enough money, what if you only make $40 and it costs $75 to fill your tank up? Guess what? You have a rich family? Okay, well, good for you. Wyatt's got a rich family. Listen, just because your family's rich doesn't mean they're going to share that wealth with you when you're older. Especially, Pastor Ray's messages this week, if you heard it, was about parents not giving all the money to the kids right away. So I don't know. I better hope your parents weren't in church this Sunday. That's what he was. Anybody in church this Sunday? You hear the sermon this Sunday? That's what Pastor Ray was talking about. He was talking about. Well, were you? Okay. You avoid church? Why would you? I was going to say, why would you be? You don't want to be proud of missing church, guys. You should be in church. You give a couple hours back to God every week for all the hours He gives you, right? Don't do that, Peter. Don't do that, Peter. Peter, first of all, you're disrupting me when I'm talking. I don't like that. That's really disrespectful. I will not tolerate that. All right. So back to math, guys. That is our work for the day. So now what I want you to do is get out your pencil and paper, your homework notebook, and start working on the practice set. And I'm going to call you up here and ask you to show me the homework for last week that's due today.